Hello everyone and welcome to Koala Crafts. Today I'm going to be turning every single Disney princess into an animal. Well, not every single Disney princess. I'm not including Anna and Elsa from Frozen because they're not considered official Disney princesses. I'm also not including Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon and Asha from Wish simply because I'm not the biggest fan of their movies. Well, I mean, Raya and the Last Dragon wasn't really that bad, but it was still very forgettable for me. I apologize to the 5 Raya fans out there for not including her. Okay, just looked it up, and Asha is not considered an official Disney princess, so it's perfectly fine that I'm not adding her. Anyway, I'm starting with the first ever Disney princess, Snow White. Now, when trying to figure out what animal I should make each Disney princess, I just based them off their iconic pets. But the thing about Snow White is that she doesn't have a singular named pet. She has like a huge group of living creatures that surround her. I just decided to make her a deer because, I don't know, I just like deer. While I'm drawing, I'm going to give you some facts about Snow White. Snow White was Disney's first full-length animated feature film. I think it was the first animated feature film ever made because before Disney, most animated projects were just shorts shown before live-action films. Everyone in Hollywood thought it was weird that Walt wanted to create a full-length animated movie and thought it would flop, calling it Disney's Folly. But the movie ended up being very successful, and now we have the Disney we do today. A random fact, Snow White is the first fictional female character with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So, period. But yeah, here is Snow White as a cute little deer. I'm wishing for the one I love to find me. Yes, I know, my Snow White impression was amazing. Next we have our second Disney princess, Cinderella. I feel like Cinderella is definitely the most iconic and recognizable Disney princess. Like, the Disney brand basically revolves around her. I'm making her into a mouse because of her 2 mice companions that she has, Jack and Gus Gus. Cinderella was Disney's 12th animated feature film. The movie actually saved the studio after World War II as due to financial constraints, they were only able to create package films. The studio was also facing bankruptcy, but luckily the film became a huge box office success. The film was also the first Disney movie shot using live-action references, as again, because of the war, they couldn't afford to risk it with their animation. So this helped the animators get the moving of the characters right. Here is Cinderella as an adorable mouse. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. I am drawing our third Disney princess, Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty. Like Snow White, Aurora also doesn't have a single named pet, just a huge group of living creatures surrounding her. I decided to make her into an owl because I feel the owl was the most memorable animal from the movie. I remember the scene where he was pretending to be the prince and Aurora was dancing with him because she thought he was actually the prince. So funny. Anyway, Sleeping Beauty was the most expensive Disney film at the time of its release, costing $6 million. That was a lot back then for 1959. But unfortunately, the movie tanked at the box office, causing Disney to not make another Disney princess movie for nearly 30 years. I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream. Like I said, Sleeping Beauty caused Disney to not make another Disney princess movie for nearly 30 years until The Little Mermaid released in 1989. Ariel is our fourth Disney princess. I decided to make her into a fish because she's a mermaid, which is half fish, and she also has her little fish companion. Did you know that The Little Mermaid actually helped save the studio, as it helped bring Disney out of the Dark Ages and into the famous Disney Renaissance? It was also the studio's highest grossing animated film at the time. A random fact, Ariel was originally supposed to be blonde, but was made into a redhead as a way to contrast the blue underwater scenes. Oh, and I also can't talk about The Little Mermaid without talking about the man that helped make the movie into what it was, Howard Ashman. Howard Ashman wrote the songs for Little Mermaid, but unfortunately he died of AIDS in 1991. Rest in peace, Howard Ashman. Without him, the Disney Renaissance would have never happened. Here is Ariel as a derpy little fish. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. Next we have our 5th Disney princess, Belle. I was originally going to make Belle into a beast, but the beast is like a mix of different animals, and I wanted each Disney princess to be a single animal. Now, the thing about Belle is that she does have a pet, but he's not really that iconic. I guess her iconic pets would be the objects, but they're not animals, they're objects. But yeah, Belle does have a pet horse. His name is Philippe. Fun facts about the film, it was the first animated film nominated for Best Picture. It didn't win, and was beaten by this niche movie. I don't know if you ever heard of it. I didn't know this, but apparently Belle is the only Disney princess to not sing the main title song in her film. The title song was sung by Mrs. Potts, who was voiced by the iconic Angela Lansbury. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast. Another thing I didn't know is that Belle's little ball gown is yellow because it's meant to represent that she warmed up to the Beast. So yeah. And again, the songs were written by the amazing Howard Ashman, which he actually won an Oscar for, but couldn't accept because he unfortunately passed away a year prior to the Oscar award ceremony. Here is Belle as a horse. Nay, I want adventure in the great white somewhere. I want it more than I can tell. Next we have our 6th Disney princess, Jasmine. I obviously had to make her into a tiger because she has a cute little pet tiger named Raya. Jasmine is the only Disney princess who was not the main character of her movie. The main character of Aladdin is obviously Aladdin. This was the final Disney movie release that Howard Ashman worked on, but he unfortunately died before the movie was fully finished. Random fact, Jasmine's outfit is light blue because it's meant to represent water, which is the most precious resource in the desert. Jasmine is rich, so she doesn't have to worry that much about not getting water. Here is Jasmine as a tiger, Roar. A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. Next we have the 7th and most controversial Disney princess, Pocahontas. I decided to make her into a raccoon inspired by her pet raccoon, Miko. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with the movie Pocahontas. I used to watch this on repeat when I was younger, and I loved the music in it. But now that I'm older, I learned how problematic this movie is. First of all, Pocahontas is the first indigenous Disney princess, and it's the only princess to be based on a real person. The real Pocahontas was not an adult woman, but about 10 or 11 years old when the settlers arrived. She did not have a romantic relationship with John Smith, as he was 27 years old, a huge age gap. Pocahontas was sadly kidnapped by the English and died at around 21 years old. It's sad how Disney's first indigenous princess had to be based on a real person, and they ended up completely altering history. Here is Pocahontas as a raccoon. I look once more, just around the river bend beyond the shore. Next is our 8th Disney princess, Mulan. I'm obviously making her into a dragon inspired by Mushu. Mulan is the first East Asian Disney princess. Also, she apparently has the highest on-screen kill count of any Disney character. She killed 2,000 Han soldiers and 2,000 horse riders, so 4,000 people in total. Period. Mulan is left-handed and is the only Disney princess who isn't royal by birth or marriage. Did anyone have friends argue that Mulan wasn't a real Disney princess because she's not like an actual princess? Well, just so you know, a character doesn't have to be an actual princess in order to be a Disney princess. They just have to be a female character that's very marketable. Here is Mulan as a dragon. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? Finally, we have arrived at my favorite Disney princess, Tiana. I'm obviously going to make her into a frog because that's what she was for her entire movie. As a black woman, Tiana meant so much to me when I was younger. She was the first and currently only black Disney princess. Asha doesn't count because, as I said earlier in the video, if you were paying attention, Asha is not an official Disney princess. Tiana is the first Disney princess to have a day-to-day job and open her own business. Everyone else is unemployed. She has the most on-screen outfit changes out of any Disney princess with 9 distinct outfits. And she's the only Disney princess whose mother is alive and father is dead. Everyone either has both their parents alive or their mother is dead. Here is Tiana as a frog. I still can't get over how they made her into a frog for her entire movie. I'm almost there. Almost there. Our 10th Disney princess is Rapunzel. I'm making her into a chameleon inspired by her pet frog, Pascal. I just realized that they made Rapunzel's pet into a chameleon because she's a very artsy person, and chameleons can change colors. Tango was Disney's 50th animated feature film. Rapunzel's hair is about 70 feet long. Her hair consists of 100,000 individual strands, and they had to invent a brand new software to ensure her hair moved realistically. And she is the first Disney princess to have supernatural powers. Here is Rapunzel as a chameleon. Flower green and glow, let your power shine, make the clock reverse, take back what once was mine, what once was mine. The 11th Disney princess I'm drawing is Merida. I'm making her into a bear because her mother and brothers turned into bears in the movie, and now she is turning into a bear. Merida is the first female protagonist in a Pixar film and the only Disney princess from a Pixar movie. Like Rapunzel, Pixar had to develop a new animation software to animate Merida's big curly red hair. Here is Merida as a bear. Rawr. Grr. Taste the wind and touch the sky. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have our 12th and not actually final Disney princess. I'm just considering her my final. Moana. I'm making her into a pig inspired by her cute little pig, Pua. When I first watched the movie, I was surprised that Pua only had like 5 minutes of screen time because there was so much merch of him. And I swear, the marketing of the movie made it seem like he was a bigger character. Put some respect on Hey Hey. He was there throughout the whole thing. Lin-Manuel Miranda, who we all know created the iconic musical Hamilton, helped write the songs in the movie. Moana is the first Polynesian Disney princess. Compared to the other Disney princesses, Moana has a more realistic body type. Everyone else is hourglass thin. How can you breathe? The movie was originally supposed to have Maui be the main character, but they decided to shift the main focus to Moana. And here is Moana as a pig. Oink oink. I am Moana! Here are all the Disney princesses as animals. I'll admit, my least favorite design out of all the Disney princesses is Ariel. I just couldn't figure out what color to make her body. I hate this red. My most favorite designs would have to be between Jasmine and Belle. I just love how their outfits turned out and their animal designs turned out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel kind of bad for not including Raya. If you want me to create a series where I turn forgotten Disney princesses into animals, let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and remember to have a koala-tastic day. Bye!